Hello and welcome to the Lake District Yogi. My name's Kat and welcome to this class from chaos to calm. So over on TikTok for the month of August, I am putting some little posts and suggestions and ideas and tips and all that kind of stuff about how to move the needle a little when life is feeling really overwhelming and busy and time feels pressured and you feel like there's just not enough hours in the day and things are stressful and all of those things, that kind of state that we often live in, that kind of treadmill existence. And so the idea of this From Chaos to Calm month was to just give suggestions and practices that help you move into a place of presence. And today's is yoga. So if you've come from that platform and this is your first time here, you are so welcome. If you are a regular to this channel, this will just be a normal class. All the classes, really, you could argue, are moving you from chaos to calm. Some are more energizing than others. This is going to be a nice, gentle flow. So if you know me and you've visited here before, you will know that I always like to really create the space in which I'm going to practice. And obviously that depends a lot on where you're practicing, whether it's your own house, you might even be outside. But where possible, you can create a really beautiful, nourishing space. And that doesn't necessarily mean the room you're in. You could be in a really unattractive, sparse room, but still create the feel that you want on your mat. And that's really important because as you progress through your practice, your mat becomes almost like a sacred space. And your brain will begin to associate, every time you unroll that mat, with whatever it is that you're looking for: space, peace, time on your own, time to reflect, time to breathe, time to soothe your nervous system. So things I always bring to my mat: a cup of tea. I've always got a cup of tea on the go, but I like to make a mindful cup of tea, like a ritual, and bring it to my mat. I've also got an essential oil today. This is going to be a calming class. I've got a really soothing lavender oil here. I often bring blankets and soft, cozy things. I've also got some blocks here. If you have them, you could bring them to this session, but they're by no means essential. Props and things like that are not necessary. Sometimes they can be useful, so if you have them, bring them. But other than that, there isn't anything you need. And when I say bringing things to your mat, I mean you curating the cozy, nourishing things that will enhance your practice. I am never referring to expensive kit or fancy clothes or anything like that. Yoga is a real world practice. It is down to earth. It's a tool for living better. And never let anybody convince you that expensive things will make that a better experience for you or more accessible. Okay, if you don't have blocks but you need them, you can use something else. We can be creative. So please don't ever think you need to go and spend a lot of money. That is not the point. Okay, so we're going to have a nice slow session together today. So if you want to pause this and do any of those things and get yourself sorted, then by all means do so. And we will start in a seated position. If you find this quite challenging, and you find that it's difficult to sit with an upright spine, and when I say upright, I don't mean completely ramrod straight with lots of tension. I mean just letting a nice energy rise up the spine. If you are very desk bound or drive a lot, or even just day-to-day living, we can really get quite a curve in our spine. We slump quite a lot. And initially the muscles in the back could be really weak and it might feel quite painful. I can remember distinctly being in agony at the beginning of yoga classes. By the time we'd finished the sort of seated 10-minute meditation, my back muscles were screaming. They were just not used to sitting. like this. So go easy on yourself. You can make it a little bit easier by just wedging something under the back of your sitting bones if you're seated for a while. We're going to be moving, so hopefully you will be okay. If this is totally inaccessible, you could try kneeling, or like I say, just wedge a blanket or something under your sitting bones just to make that little tilt in the pelvis, can just help elongate the spine. And then at this point, I'm going to stop talking so much, and I'm just going to lead us through this gentle flow. So just start by placing your hands on your knees. Maybe close the eyes, or if you keep them open, just keep your focus really soft. And just allow your awareness just to tune inwards. Maybe you want to just set the intention, just remind yourself why you're here. This is a time to slow down. It's a time to ground yourself, to reacquaint yourself with your own body, with your own breath, and to just have a bit of a pause from all of that swirling, chaotic, demanding energy, which can often fill our lives. And then just allow your awareness to land really lightly on your breathing. And see if you can let the next few breaths just take a little more space. So nothing more manipulating than that. Just let that natural breath flow in through the nose. Just see if you can find a tiny little amount of expansion and spaciousness in the chest. And then gently let your eyelids flutter open if you had them closed. I'm going to start off with some spinal circles. So keeping your hands on your knees, just lean yourself over to the side or maybe in line with that knee. And then let your chest move towards the front of your space, to the other side, and then the back. Keep moving like this, but really tune in to the feeling. So maybe you're feeling sensation in the upper back, in the waist. Maybe you're feeling the heel of your hands against your legs. Maybe it's the weight shifting from one sitting bone to the other. Maybe it's the sides of your feet. So you can make this movement as big or small as you like. If you're making nice big circles, you can use the arms, bend the elbows. You can draw the chin to the chest at the back and then almost lead with the chin at the front, like you're drawing big circles through the space around you. Next time we come to the front, pause. And then gently move in the other direction. So the more you bring the chin and head into this, the more sensation and fluidity you will create in the spine. And even as you're moving, can you keep a little bit of your awareness on your breath? Letting the breath be smooth and slow. So we're going to do one more like this. Next time you come to the front, pause. Allow the spine to come back to that neutral position. Maybe close the eyes and just have a moment to feel in. So we're going to stop regularly to feel. So just feel how that initial movement has shifted something in your body, maybe. You might not have done, but if you don't pause to explore that, you won't discover things. Maybe there's a little tingling under your skin. Maybe you feel like you've started to generate a bit of energy or warmth. Maybe things feel a little bit looser in the side body. And then gently open your eyes, plant the right hand down on the ground beside you. And next time you breathe in, take this left arm really slowly alongside the ear. Pause here. Okay, adjustments. You can bend this right elbow, or if that's enough sensation or too much, you can slide the right hand towards you. So you are completely in control of how deeply you go into each move and how much sensation you create. So next thing to think about, reach into the tips of the left fingers. And then imagine that long line all the way from the left bum cheek, keep that nice and rooted, all the way up through the side body to the fingers. And breathe here. If you like the visualization, which I always love and will always suggest, you can imagine breathing from the earth up through this whole left side of the body to the tips of the fingers. Okay, next in-breath, press off this hand, sweep to the other side, left hand down, right arm alongside your ear, settle in. Think about where you want this left hand. Create a place that is comfortable, where there is sensation, but it's juicy. Reach into the tips of the right fingers, ground that right sitting bone down, and then just breathe. And just know that with every single slow breath that you enjoy, you are shifting yourself into a calmer, more regulated state. And what you achieve here on your mat, you can then take out into the world. Okay, next breath, come back up, place the hands back on the knees, close the eyes, feel. Just take a breath in and out. Feel into your body. Feel into your breath. Feel into your energy. Maybe check in with your thinking mind. Are you struggling to keep here, present? Is your mind elsewhere? Is it trying to plan? Is it thinking of things it's forgotten to do? Is it all, busy? If you're new to this, that can be one of the most challenging parts. Why it's so useful to use sensations in the body and the breath as a simple anchor. Just keep returning, and I'll keep reminding you. Okay, we're going to roll over our knees onto all fours. I'm just going to have a quick sip of tea. So make the transition nice and slowly. Pad yourself in, spread into the fingers. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Soften the gaze, find what we call a drishti, a gaze point, maybe between the thumbs or a foot or so in front of your hands. And if intuitively you feel a sense that you need to do a little bit of rocking or swaying when you get here, by all means do that. If you're on a hard floor, pad under your knees. You can tuck the toes if you wish. So these are just all little tips and adjustments to make your practice joyful. Otherwise, there is no point. Okay, if you are rocking or swaying, just find stillness. Okay, drop the belly. Let everything sag. Let the heart shine forward. Maybe lift the chin a fraction. Take a slow breath in here. And as you exhale, start to round the spine to the ceiling, dropping the head. Press, press, press into the hands. As you inhale, start to lift the tailbone. Let that belly drop again. Heart shines forward. Exhale, press really firmly into the earth. Feel all the finger pads, the heel of your hand as you arch the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Keep moving on your own breath, enjoy this, and maybe with every round that you do, you create a little bit more movement in the spine. Maybe every time we reach the end of your inhale, your chin is a little higher. Keep the eyes closed if you can and feel into your body so that you know how deeply you want to go. Okay, next time you've arched the spine to the ceiling, just return to a neutral spine. Untuck the toes if you had them tucked. Slowly lift the right arm, send the right arm forward. Take the left leg, send the left leg back. Point or flex the back foot. Draw in the lower belly. Start to create that light core engagement. It will help with balance. Keep your drishti, your gaze point, focused. Breathe here. Lower with control. Right hand, left knee. Send the left arm forward and the right leg back. Lightly engage the core. Notice how much focus your mind needs to stay in this balance. I bet if you check in now, your thinking mind is not planning and making lists. With control, left hand down and right knee. Okay, we're going to step our right foot between our hands. So your hands are on either side of your foot. So the shape could look more upright, or you can send the left leg back and have the shape longer. That depends entirely on how open you are in the hips and how deeply you want this stretch. Press a little into the right foot. And then if you feel comfortable to do so, you can take the fingers off the floor, bring your hands to your knees. This is a very good place for blocks if you do have them. If you bring your hands to your knee, if that feels okay. And maybe bring the arms overhead. Take a centered breath in. And as you exhale, cactus the arms. So press the palms forward, bring the elbows back and down as if you're pressing into an invisible wall. Breathe the fingertips back to the sky. Keep pressing into that right foot. Bring the hands down. Bring the right knee back. And we'll do that on the other side. Step the left foot between the hands. Take your time. Adjust here. See how it feels for you. Where do you want that back leg? Do you want it much closer so you're more at right angles? Or do you want to shifty it back? Do you need blocks here? Does this feel comfortable? Can you bring your hands to your knee? Keep pressing into that left foot. That's really important. Otherwise, we're kind of dumping all our weight into our hips. We do want to stretch our hip flexors and the front of our hips, but we want to do it with control and mindful awareness. So press into that foot. Bring the arms overhead. If you can, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, slowly, slowly draw the elbows down. Press into that invisible wall with the hands. Inhale, breathe the fingertips slowly back up. And then lower the hands to the ground. And bring the knee back to all fours. Again, take the time, readjust. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, spread through the fingers. Take the right arm, send it out to the side, and then breathe it under this left arm. Keep going, palm up until you come down to your temple or your cheek. Left hand stays planted, or if it's fine for your shoulder, you can extend that left arm forward. This is thread the needle. Just land here for a couple of breaths. If the left hand is forward, slide it back alongside your face. Press into it to release the right arm, bring the right hand down. Readjust, pad your hands, find that all fours again. Take the left arm out to the side. Thread it underneath, palm up. As you keep it moving, your cheek or temple will come to the ground. Think about where you want this right hand. Keep it where it is for balance. Maybe slide it forward for a deeper stretch in the shoulder. Come back to the breath if you've wandered off. And again, if you've got that right arm forward, slide it towards your face, press into the earth, release the left arm. Okay, from this all fours, swivel your lower right leg so it's parallel to the short edges of your mat, and then extend your left foot. So we're in this line like this. I've got my right hand, my right knee, and my left foot. The left arm comes to the sky. I'm drawing in that core, that lower belly. I'm pressing firmly into my right hand and reaching into my left fingertips and reaching to the outside edge of that left foot. So, here are your options. Stay here. If this feels really comfortable and you think you want a little bit more sensation, you can bring the left arm alongside the ear. And for an additional fun challenge, you can then lightly engage the core a little more and lift the left leg off the ground, finding that really long line. Using the leg strength to keep it lifted. But they are additions. If you have the leg lifted with control, bring it back down. Press right off the earth with this right hand. Sweep over, left hand touches on left leg and the right arm alongside the ear. If that's too much, just straight up to the ceiling. Okay, keep the legs where they are. Bring the arms up. Turn this left foot so it's pointing towards the short edge of your mat. And then place the left elbow on that knee. Try to keep that nice and light. Right arm up to the sky again or alongside the ear. And then ease into, hope you can probably feel it already, ease into just opening that knee back a little, opening that hip. Now this is a tiny movement. It could be that you're already feeling lots of sensation just having it open like this. But with the elbow there, it just gives you the option, if you want to just peel that back a little, just to increase the sensation. You might want to find a little bit of rock or sway here, just really opening into that hip. And then sweep yourself up, swivel back round to all fours. And we'll do that on the other side. I'm going to have my back to you, I'm afraid, but you will at least get to see it from a different angle. So swivel the lower left leg, place the left hand down, and then the right foot. Ground into the outside edge of that right foot. Reach the right arm to the ceiling. And breathe here. And when we constantly cue you in yoga classes to breathe, I know it can sound a bit cliched, but there's two real purposes when we keep the breath slow and smooth, especially a nice long exhale. We're helping shift our nervous system into that parasympathetic state that we all so desperately crave but very rarely visit. If you want to extend the right arm or maybe lift the leg, do so. If not, stay where you are. And the other reason is that the breath can be an anchor, a gentle reminder to keep coming back to the present moment. Next time you breathe in, press up, lightly engaging that core. Touch the right fingers to the right leg, reach that left arm over. Keep the the body where it is, and then turn the right leg, toes pointing to the short edge of your mat. And then place your right elbow on your knee and extend this left arm, maybe alongside the ear, maybe straight up ahead. And then feel in. So I have very different sensations on the two sides of the body, which obviously is very, very common. We favor one side, we have a predominant side. So this right hip I feel much less sensation on this side. So I can really afford to lean into this shape a bit and start to open into that hip. But I'm doing it very gently with complete attention, so I know when to stop. And I enjoy finding a little bit of movement here. Okay, come back up, sweep yourself back round to that all fours position. And this time, tuck the toes. Walk the hands forward just a little, and then slowly, as if you're sinking into a warm bath, lift your hips into downward dog. And then find any amount of sway or movement. You can lift and lower the heels to really stretch into the backs of the legs. If downward dog feels still really uncomfortable for you, it took me years before I understood what my yoga teacher was talking about when she said about enjoying downward dog. It can take a long, long time. Yoga is not an overnight fix. It is a long journey of exploring and learning. But on a physical level, when we are tight and a little stiff, our downward dog could look a bit more like this, kind of rounded forward with the weight very much in the hands. And there isn't much other than time, but one thing you can do which will really help is to bend the knees a lot and then lift the hips. You see how that immediately lengthens my spine, which is essentially what downward dog is all about. So if you stay in downward dog with bent knees like this for years and years, that's all fine. Reconnect with your breath, press into your hands, explore the sensations and the feelings. And then come up onto your tiptoes and roll forward very slowly. Shift the weight so the shoulders are over the wrists. I always have to shift my feet back a little bit at this point. We're finding plank. Please lower the knees if you want. Otherwise, draw that lower belly in. Feel that engagement, keeping your core strong and safe. And then very gently, if you haven't already, bring the knees down. Bend the elbows, lower the chest. Slide forward, untuck the toes. So your hands are under your shoulders. You can place the forehead down. Next, in breath, press into the hands and peel the chest off the earth any amount. It could be a couple of inches. It could be quite high. Feel into the lower back. Any pinching comes straight out. Exhale, lower down. We're going to do that one more time. Keep the elbows tucked in as you breathe in and peel the chest. Breathe it back down. Stay on your belly. Slide the arms forward. Lift up. So we've got our forearms parallel, our elbows under our shoulders for Sphinx pose. Now press into the tops of the feet a little, engage the legs, and then imagine that the hands are like little sticky frog feet, and really connect them to the mat, but let your heart shine forward. Just feel that little micro engagement. It's almost like you're trying to slide your hands towards you, but they're stuck, and your heart can shine forward. Keep that lower belly engagement to protect your lower back. Okay, slowly move the elbows to the side so you can bring your torso and forehead down. Place the hands back under the shoulders, tuck the toes, and slowly move yourself back into child's pose. At this point, you can keep the toes tucked for a more active child, or you can untuck them and settle into something really soothing. Again, little bits of sway or movement might feel nice here. And then gently find stillness. And in your child's pose, I just want you to feel. I want you to feel the shape of your body. Feel where your body ends and the space around you begins. Can you find that edge, that place where you connect with the world around you, with the cosmos? Can you feel into your physical body? The joints, the places where we've moved and lubricated and warmed. Do you feel any shift in sensation in the body? Do you feel a buzzing or a tingling, that life force flowing through you? Do you feel a shift in your energy? The answer to these may be, no, I don't feel anything. That's fine too, but like I said, if you don't give yourself the chance to explore, you'll miss the things that you have created. And I promise you, over time, with practice and dedication, yoga will start to give you so much feedback. How does your body feel after this sustained, slow breath? Has that been challenging for you? Has it been an utter relief to just let yourself drop into this? What about your thinking mind? Does that feel slower and calmer? Okay, next breath. Draw your hands towards your knees. Push yourself up with a flat back and come to a seat. Well, thank you so much for joining me for that chaos to calm session. I hope it has done what we set out to do. If it hasn't, please, please don't feel discouraged. Yoga is a lifelong journey. It's a journey back home to yourself. It's a journey to uncovering who you really are, who you were before the world and all its baggage and mess just piled in on you and dulled your spark. It's a journey to reconnecting with your body that you may have subjected to all manner of unhealthy things, been upset by after years of listening to the outside world telling us things about our bodies that are just not true. It's about reconnecting to your breath and that inner voice, that wisdom that lives inside you that will never lead you astray. And the more you practice and the more you shed those unwanted layers and you start to shine again, and that inner voice, that wisdom starts to come through. And then you go out back into the world, into your life, and you are operating from a place of deeper connection, deeper wisdom. You know yourself, and you will respond to situations, not react. Oh, it's just too beautiful for words. I can only encourage you to keep going. If this was your first step, keep going. If you are on the journey and you've been on the journey, good, well done. Share it with somebody. Tell somebody how it makes you feel. Encourage the people that are at the beginning of the journey why it's really beneficial to keep going. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me at the Lake District Yogi. I post a class every single Monday, so please feel free to come back and take any of the other classes. Keep an eye out for future ones. Do the usual, please. Hit subscribe and all of those things. It really helps me and it means that you never miss a class. And then wherever you are, have a great day. And I'll be back to do some more yoga with you soon. From my heart to yours. Bye.